Hi everybody, this is Celeste. I'm a Nationally Certified Interventionist and I'm a certified recovery coach and family coach. And I wanted to talk to you today about my journey to becoming an interventionist and a family coach and a recovery coach. So for me it was a long process that probably started around 2006-ish. And for me, at that time, I was married, and I've probably talked a little bit about this before and touched base on it, but I've always had anxiety since I was really, really little, and I was in a marriage at that time that was very, very difficult for me and created a lot more anxiety. There was a real lack of boundaries and a real lack of effective communication, I think on both sides, and I had a really hard time being assertive and setting boundaries, and that increased my anxiety, and I was really feeling overworked, and both at work and at home, and I actually really liked the TV show Intervention at that time, and I thought it was a really interesting concept, and I thought, that's something that I'd really, really like to do. But I also realized too deep down that I was struggling with my own addiction and my own drinking issues, and I wasn't really ready at that time to admit it to anybody else, but I think deep down I knew it even within myself, and I did have that sense of self-awareness, and I was a really avid follower of that show, and there was even a couple times, during the course of watching that show, and I don't know if you guys have watched it, but at the end of it, they always send if the person agrees to go to treatment, they send them off on an airplane to go to treatment, and I always used to say to my ex-husband, he's now my ex-husband, where is my airplane? Like, I want to go get well, and there was always very much a reluctance on his side to agree to that was a good idea. Even though there was a couple times where I was very willing to go, but I think from his perspective, he was very much wanting to keep up the facade and not wanting to do the work. And it eventually got to the point around 2010, give or take, and where my addiction had become really, really bad, and I was very aware of it, and I was very aware, and it was probably a blessing and a curse that at that time I had this self-awareness to know that the lack of communication, the lack of me setting boundaries on my time and energy was, there was some other stuff going on as well, but that was really making the addiction worse for me. And I said to him, look, I need to start making some changes. And at that time, I had the self-awareness to know where I needed to start making changes, but I didn't have necessarily an effective plan or a strategy. But I did say, I need to start making these changes. This is what I need to start doing to begin my process of healing. And you need to make a choice on whether or not you want to support that, or if you want to not support it. But you're either on board or not. And you know what? It's interesting because it's usually the person in addiction that's getting the intervention and the bottom line done on them. And he wasn't going to do it, so he decided he wanted a divorce because he didn't want to do the work to heal the relationship, to make things better, to support my decision to want to get well. So the divorce started. I got sober. I was sober for about 2 years, and before I relapsed, and I had done AA, and I had done all the meetings and everything that I was told to do. And it's a great program. It works for a lot of people, but I found for me that it didn't work for me from the perspective that it dealt with a lot of the behaviors and a lot of the superficial stuff that was going on, but for me it didn't really address the trauma. It didn't address the mental health issues, the anxiety, the depression, all that stuff that was going on. So I went back to self-medicating with alcohol, and I had to do some more research for a couple of years, and so I got sober the first time in 2011. I was sober until about 2013. things got really bad towards the end of that relapse. And I tried to get in and out of sobriety, and but I was very much floundering and very much not sure where to go next. And I had a conversation actually one night with a police officer, and he was very nice about it. I didn't get into any trouble. It was more just a conversation that it really made me realize, okay, I need to do something. And the next day I went to a walk-in clinic and found just this amazing doctor. And he was very supportive in the process. And that would have been about this time in 2017. It would have been about this time of year, maybe a little bit earlier. It was in January, and I went to visit him, and he got me on some medications that would help with withdrawals, with some anxiety, some depression, and until I could start to get those coping skills. So, and he was just amazing. And I had a few relapses in that time, and it was a bit of a blessing and a curse, because the medications that I was on were some very strong medications, and of course they all said don't take with alcohol, and there's a very good reason why your doctor says don't take these with alcohol. There's a good reason why the bottles say don't take these with alcohol, because they really increase the effects of drinking. And so I would have to drink less to get the same effects, but I was still drinking the same amounts, and it was just it really escalated my downward spiral. So it was probably a blessing and a curse, right? It was definitely not a good thing that was going on, but I think it really did escalate my rock bottom. People were really starting to notice this time around what was going on, and an intervention was done on me. And on March 31st, 2017, it was done. And so my sobriety date is April 1st, 2017. So I'm coming up on 4 years. And I think for me, when I got into recovery this time around, I really was very cognizant that I needed to do the work, that I needed to do that hard work and do whatever it took to stay sober this time, because I realized that there was, even my doctor said, like, if you drink again, you're not coming out of it. Like, it's not going to end well. So it was very important for me. Like, I knew that. And, I haven't craved alcohol seriously since then. And I've had in the beginning I had a few cravings here and there, but nothing like it was. So it was I really had to do a lot of hard work. And, I know there's a lot of different perspectives on medication in recovery. And my feeling on that was that, I was on a lot of medications when I first got into recovery, and a lot of really strong medications. And it was medications that my doctor told me, like, don't tell people that you're taking this, because people will rob you for them. Thank you, Jasmine. And I'm not taking them anymore. I don't have them. I don't have those medications, so please don't rob me, because I don't even have them. But they were some very high level medications. So but it was one of those things that they really helped me get through those early first few months of sobriety until I could get to the point where I had started to develop those coping skills to maintain that recovery. And so for me, and this is just my personal choice, there are differing beliefs on it, that the medications did help me in the beginning, and gradually I did start to wean off those. I think I was on 5 or 6 medications in the beginning, and I'm only on 2 now that are very kind of low level medications. So again, please don't rob me. I've got nothing that you can sell on the street, but I just have to say that disclaimer. But and it's, even in those conversations with my doctor, he says, if there's a choice between taking 2 tablets a day and drinking, the choice is easy. So, but that doesn't work for everybody. So that's definitely a very personal decision for for everybody. And yeah, my business partner is here sharing my office with me, and she's busy working in the background. So we do share an office, my little business partner. So she's working on a bone right now. she's helping me out. So yeah, so, and that's a very personal choice between you and your doctor, and definitely get that input, talk to people, get that feedback, and make that decision for yourself. But it was a lot of hard work, and I think 6 months in, I had to make some really positive choices, because I felt like I wasted so many years in drinking and addiction and wasted nights and blackouts and all this stuff. I felt like I wasted so much time that I felt like I really I had to get moving. Like, I felt like this motivation that I had to make up for lost time. So probably 6 months into my recovery, I started taking tons of courses in addiction and human service work. So in about 3 months, I had gotten my addiction studies certificate, which was just so informative. I got so much information out of that course. I took the human service worker course at the college in Cranbrook, and I absolutely loved that course because it had so many useful practical tools that I could apply to myself and then utilize with clients, and give them some of these tools and skills and strategies to implement into their lives. And I think it's so important. I think that it was so important for me to do the work that some of those skills and some of those tools that I was learning in the course, because I've had conversations with clients since that. I've done this work, right? Like, suffering is optional, you're going to have pain, but suffering is optional. And I'm not asking you to do anything that I haven't done myself. So when I'm giving clients this hard work to do, and they're saying, well, you don't understand, you haven't been there, you haven't had to do all this. Actually, I have. So, I can actually say that. Like, I understand what you're going through. I understand that it sucks right now. And I've said to clients, like, I get that it sucks for you right now, but you see me walking around and I'm all happy and smiling all the time and laughing and I'm happy, right? Do you want to walk around smiling like an idiot like I am? And they're like, well, yeah. And I'm like, okay, then get off your butt and do the work. And I've said that to clients, and it has an impact. And it's direct, and it's out there, and sometimes people don't want to hear it. But sometimes having that person that has been there, done that, gone through the work, gone through hell, done the work and gotten better, sometimes they need that kick in the butt. And if that's what they need, I'm willing to be that butt kicker, right? And not in a bad way, but out of that place of love and caring. And I don't want you suffering. I don't want to see you suffering when there's something out there that you can do. And I get very excited about that. And I think that most people that see me doing that and giving them that kick in the butt, they know that I'm doing it because I give a shit. And I'm not just saying it to be an asshole. I care enough about you that I want you to have what I have. But at the end of the day, you can't be sitting around on your butt, not doing anything and expect to change, right? And it's hard work. It's hard, grueling work. You're gonna cry. You're gonna get mad. You're gonna hate my guts some days and go, that fucking Celeste, what is she doing this to me for? Why is she making me do this work? Because I give a shit. Because I care about you. I care about your happiness. I care about your recovery. And if you want to swear at me because you don't want to do the work and this is hard, have at her. Swear at me all you want. Just do the work, right? Because I want you to be well. I want you to have happiness. I want you to have peace. I want you to have everything that you're meant to have in this life. So I get very excited about that. So, and if you don't necessarily want to swear at me, I'm probably not the right coach for you. because I love having people swear at me, because it means that they're making progress and they're starting to do some of that hard work and come to terms with some of that hard stuff, and it means that it's hitting a nerve, and that's probably where you need to do the work if it's hitting the nerves. So that's really where I get excited. And I've had the opportunity to see some real amazing change in people, and I've watched people go from wanting to kill themselves and I want to die right now and whatever, take pills, drive my car off a cliff, blow my brains out, whatever. And I've seen them do a complete 180, and I've actually thought, I don't know if this person is going to get it. Like, I hope they do, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're going to make that breakthrough. And I've talked to them. I've heard in their voice. I've seen on their face when they make that breakthrough and they have that aha moment. And it gives me goosebumps. It honestly, like, I'm at a point to my life where I can actually get excited. And I've walked into somebody's office at work and said, I am so excited right now because this person got it. And, you know, when people say, like, do you do this job for the money? I'm not rich. I'm not going to get rich off this job. And I, you know, at the end of the day, I really don't care, because when somebody comes to me and says, I finally got it, that's the chief for me. That's the quan. That's the whatever words you want to use. That's what keeps me going. That's what has me running into people's offices, jumping up and down and going, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this person. And it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with them. And I can actually legit celebrate that joy with them and celebrate that breakthrough. And it's absolutely the most amazing thing in the world. And that's why I do this job. And some days it's hard. It's grueling work. And, you know, sometimes you're right in the trenches with that person, feeling their pain, feeling their sorrow, you know, just that heaviness. And you feel that with them. And it's when they make that breakthrough, it's pretty amazing. So, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it can be very, very hard work, but you know, there's nothing like walking alongside that person and, having that epiphany. And that's why I do what I do. And I think even, you know, 16 years ago when I was watching intervention and thinking, I want to do that job, but I don't know if I can ever do that. And now I get the opportunity to do that. And the only reason I can do that job is because I did the hard work. You know, it was literally do or die for me. Like, you either do this or you're gonna die. Like, there was no other options. And, you know, and I think that's why I get so passionate about encouraging people forward, is because it literally can be do or die. And sometimes it's not about addiction. Sometimes it's not about the drugs and alcohol killing them, whether it be like suicide or whatever. Sometimes, you know, it's suicide. Sometimes it's, you know, medical conditions, stress and depression lead to medical conditions that take people's lives. It's all kinds of things, right? And so I realize, like, it's serious work, but I absolutely love what I do. I love my job. I love what I do. And that's why I get up in the morning, and that's why I'm so passionate about what I do. And I'm so passionate about addiction and mental health and recovery and helping those people. And, you know, I'm one of those people too. I'm always out looking for more knowledge. And, you know, I'm still continuing my education towards getting my master's in psychology. And I always get like so excited when I learn something new, and I think, oh my gosh, I can't wait to share this with this person that I'm coaching or this client, because, oh my gosh, they can use this nugget. And that's what really gets me excited about the learning process, is I'm so excited to learn the information and pass it forward. So that's really my journey so far. That's my journey to date. And, you know, I think when I started to get sober, that, you know, I didn't want those years stuck in addiction to be wasted. And I think, you know, like I was saying earlier, that I felt like I had all these wasted years to make up for. And I was really just gung ho, you know, towards getting education and starting to work with people. Because I, you know, I had to make up for lost time, and I just, you know, want to really keep on that journey. And that's where I'm at today. I'm just really happy. I'm happy with my life, and I live a minimalistic life, and every day I get to walk out my door and look at the mountains, and I get to live with my business partner who's busy working away, as you can still hear, I'm sure. And she's just an amazing little business partner. I love her with all my heart, as I'm sure you guys know. Anybody that knows me and Miley knows how loved she is and how spoiled she is, and how much I love her and how much she means to me. And even just being able to take joy in the simple things like having a dog. I couldn't have done that 5 years ago. There's no way. And so Miley is just such a huge blessing for me. And I just love her with all my heart. And having said that, I'm going to go spend some quality time with my business partner. And we have some very serious work to do tonight. We have some very serious playing to do. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in and for listening to my story. And thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you everybody for your wonderful comments and sharing your beautiful comments. And it means so much to me that all your beautiful comments and all your love coming my way. I love it. I love doing this job. I love the people that I'm surrounded by. And as always, I appreciate everybody's positivity and love. And keep in touch, everybody. Have a safe night. Be safe out there. I wish you all the peace and joy and contentment that you deserve. Have a good night.